O Spirit, make my soul thy temple, but make my heart thy beloved home, where thou wilt dwell with me in ease and everlasting understanding. O Spirit, make my soul thy temple, but make my heart thy beloved home, where thou wilt dwell with me in ease and everlasting understanding. O Spirit, make my soul thy temple, but make my heart thy beloved home, where thou wilt dwell with me in ease and everlasting understanding. O Spirit, make my soul thy temple, but make my heart thy beloved home, where thou wilt dwell with me in ease and everlasting understanding. O Spirit, make my soul thy temple, but make my heart thy beloved home, where thou wilt dwell with me in ease and everlasting understanding. O Spirit, make my soul thy temple, but make my heart thy beloved home, where thou wilt dwell with me in ease and everlasting understanding. O Spirit, make my soul thy temple, but make my heart thy beloved home, where thou wilt dwell with me in ease and everlasting understanding. O Spirit, make my soul thy temple, but make my heart thy beloved home, where thou wilt dwell with me in ease and everlasting understanding.
Hello friends, my name is Shannon and I am offering a hatha yoga practice for our celebration of International Day of Yoga. And for this class I would like to hone in on what the actual meaning of yoga is. And the word yoga translates to yoke, which means to connect. And when we practice yoga, we are practicing connecting with our divinity, our true selves. And we can do this in a few different ways. We can do this through devotional chanting or singing, that's another type of yoga, or the yoga of selfless service, or through reading sacred texts. This particular type of yoga is hatha yoga, where we practice accessing that connection through the physical body by developing an awareness of how we're feeling, of how we're, of the quality of our breath, of the quality of our mind, of just developing a deeper awareness of the self by checking in with the self versus practicing a yoga class. A lot of times you can practice a hatha yoga class where we don't check in and we just go through the movements and the motions of what we're being told to do versus, and it's kind of more of a checking out. We're in our head more and we're trying to do a posture perfectly, and that's not really checking in. Checking in is feeling what the body needs in this moment and then aligning with that. So that's what we will practice today. Let's take a deep inhale and we'll draw a circle around the body with the arms. And exhale, we'll bring the palms down to heart center. And we'll just take a moment to set an intention. Maybe it's to set a personal goal for the self, for the day, for the week, for the year, or maybe just for this class. And on your next exhale, when you're ready, we'll bring one hand onto the chest and one hand onto the belly. And we'll start to develop this awareness of ourself through noticing the temperature of our body with the palms of our hands. So maybe the chest feels warmer than the belly, or the belly feels warmer than the chest. We'll just notice. Now we'll start to notice the temperature of the palms of our hands. Maybe one hand is cooler than the other. Now we'll start to notice the quality of our breath. What area of the body is expanding when we inhale? Is it the chest? Is it the belly? Maybe you can feel it down into the hips. We're just noticing. And then on the next exhale, we'll gently bring the hands back down into our lap. And if you're sitting on a block or a bolster, you can remove that. And we're going to bring ourselves into a table position. So the hands are under the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Our spine is straight, nose is pointed towards the floor, elbows are soft, abs are gently engaged. And we'll just start off by doing a few cat-cows, loosening up the spine to get us started. Inhale, arch the spine, lift the chin, lift the hips. And exhale, round, tuck the chin, tuck the hips. So we're moving with our own breath, allowing the breath to guide the movement and checking in with the self. So we don't need to round the spine in a perfect arch or arching the spine down towards the floor in a perfect way. We're just noticing how this feels and what position feels best for you. Just getting familiar with the body, getting familiar with the movements of the spine. Maybe you start to notice the movements of the hips as we round the spine and arch the spine. Now we'll send the knees back just a couple of inches. And we'll do some hip rotation. So on the exhale, we'll just bring the hips down towards the right ankle and then shift them over to the left ankle, and then we're coming up, shifting the weight onto the left palm and then onto the right palm. And we're moving with the breath. So as we come forward with the hips, we're inhaling, and when we exhale, we go back. And then maybe just notice what direction feels best for you. Does it feel better when you're directing the hips more towards the left side or more towards the right side? Does it feel better when you're pressing the hips more down towards the ankles, or when they're coming up more towards the mat, towards the floor? And now we'll go into the opposite direction. And in this new direction, we're moving different tissues in the body than the other direction, so maybe you can notice a difference. Maybe this direction feels better, maybe your breath is more smoothed out. Just notice. Okay, now we'll come back to a neutral spine. Knees can go back underneath the hips. Now we're going to do a side bends with the spine. So we're just gently bring the right ear to the right hip to the right ear, and we're going to keep the nose pointed at the floor. So we're curving the spine in a C shape. And we're just going to go back and forth. And then again, just noticing how this feels for you. Checking in with the self, practicing self-awareness. the more subtle the sensations of the body, the stronger we develop the awareness of the self. So maybe we're noticing the jaw. Maybe we're noticing how the cheeks soften down towards the floor as we do this. Okay, so now we're going to exhale and we'll bring the hips down towards the ankles. And then on the inhale, we'll lift them up and let the hips kind of sink down towards the mat, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chin, arching the spine gently. And then on your exhale, we'll sink the hips back. So moving at your own pace. Maybe your spine doesn't want to arch very far, and that's okay. You're honoring your body. Listening to what it's telling you to do. So now we're going to practice doing this in a few different ways. So maybe you want to go back to doing some hip rotations because that felt really good for you. Or maybe you want to go back to just sinking the hips towards the ankles. Or maybe you want to go back to doing some cat-cows or some side bends. So we're practicing checking in with the self, developing self-awareness, and just going where the body takes you. So you can kind of start to discover different areas of the body that maybe you haven't noticed before when you do this. Maybe you start to notice the space underneath your armpits. Maybe you start to notice your pelvic floor soften. Maybe you start to notice your neck, your back of your neck start to soften a little bit more. So just kind of playing with these movements, allowing for an organic flow just to kind of flow out of you. Maybe you want to add in another movement. You can do that. Staying connected with the breath as you flow. Okay, now we'll make our way back to a table posture. And we'll start to come into our down dog mindfully. So we'll tuck the toes. We'll lift the hips towards the sky, keeping the knees bent, inhaling into the side bodies, and then gently bringing the heels towards the floor, extending the knees. And then on your exhale, bend the knees, step the feet forward. Inhale, come halfway up with a straight spine, and then exhale, fold. Back of the head points down towards the floor. Knees are soft. Maybe just bend one knee at a time. Noticing the difference between the sensation of one leg versus the sensation of the other leg. Maybe you can notice where our weight is placed underneath our feet. Maybe we're placing more weight on our heels or more on the balls of our feet. On your next inhale, slowly start to come up. Draw a circle around the body with the arms, arch the spine. And then exhale, palms come to heart center, and we'll reconnect here. Take another deep inhale, draw a circle around the body with the arms. Reach up with the shoulder blades, reach down into the floor with the feet. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, fold. And then inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale, coming into equal standing. Okay, so now we're going to go into a warrior one on the right side. So we'll bring the left foot back. Both hips point towards the front of the mat. We're lunging into the right knee. Spine is straight and comfortable. We'll just engage the core a little bit for support. And then we'll inhale and bring the arms up. We'll just hang out in this posture for a few moments and just notice how the body is feeling. Checking in with the self. If you start to feel uncomfortable in this kind of a lunge, maybe you can bring your leg forward a little bit more, honoring your body. Maybe if the arms feel too heavy today, maybe we just want to keep them down, or maybe we want them to come into a prayer position. There are no rules in the yoga practice. It's more about just developing an awareness of self and aligning with what the body needs. On your next exhale, we'll drop both arms parallel with the floor. The left foot points towards the side of the mat, front foot points towards the front of the mat, and then we'll lunge into the right knee. You might want to extend the stance a little bit. Left shoulder comes back. We're reaching away from the heart with the hands. We're reaching down into the floor with the feet, rooting the feet. Reaching up towards the sky with the crown of the head. And just notice the shape of the body. Feeling into the body as if, and feeling how it's one unit. It's working together. Take an inhale, exhale. Inhale, we'll bring the left arm down, and right arm comes up, arching the spine gently. Left shoulder goes down and away from the heart. And then noticing this posture, noticing how this feels. Does this feel better or worse than the posture before? Take an inhale, and exhale, we'll come forward, right forearm comes on top of the right thigh, and then we'll bring the left arm up over the left ear. Gazing up, opening up the chest, pressing the back foot down into the floor. We're not applying too much weight on this forearm. We're still rooted into the floor with the feet. Abs are engaged. And then feeling into this posture, noticing how this feels. If this feels like it's too much, then you can bring the arm down, and maybe we're just putting it on the hip and doing just a gentle bend this way. Take a deep inhale into the back, open the chest, and then exhale, look down. We'll bring the left hand down into the floor this time. Or if you have a block, you can put it on a block. And then we'll rotate the spine. Left arm comes up, gazing up towards the sky, rooting the back foot. Noticing the left pinky toe. Noticing the space in between the shoulder blades. Noticing the fingertips, the toes, the whole body. And as we exhale, we'll look down. Top hand comes down as well. And we're just going to step that back foot forward. Inhale, we'll come up halfway. Lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Nice and slow if you need to. And exhale. Palms meet at the heart. Okay, so we'll do that again. Left foot goes back, coming back into your warrior one. And then we'll exhale, coming into the warrior two. On your inhale, we'll arch the spine back. On your exhale, we'll come into the side angle. And on your next exhale, we'll bring the left palm down. Right arm comes up into your rotation. Feeling into the body, staying connected. Noticing the breath. And exhale, look down. Both hands come down. Back foot comes forward. Inhale. Straighten the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Okay, we'll do that one more time. But this time, I'd like you to kind of move into whatever feels good for you. So maybe you don't want to go into a warrior one right away. Maybe the back bend felt really good, so you're going to do that. And then maybe it might feel good for you to go into the side angle from here. Or maybe you want to stay where you are. Or maybe you want to come down into your reverse triangle. It's practicing self-discovery, practicing listening to the body. Maybe you just stay in one posture and breathe into that. Maybe that's what your body wants to do. Maybe you can make up a whole new posture. Maybe you just rotate the spine and go into a warrior two in a rotation. Ultimately, with practicing yoga, you want to kind of take the training wheels off and learn to be your own teacher. Allow your body to be your teacher. And as we exhale, we'll come back down, both hands on either side of the front foot. Bring the back foot forward again. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, palms come to the heart center. Okay, we'll switch sides. So back foot goes back, right foot goes back, lunging into the left knee. And then inhaling, arms coming up into warrior one. If that feels good for you, or you can keep your palms to your heart if that feels better, or on your hips. Connecting with the breath here, feeling into the body, checking in. What are your energy levels right now? Do you even have the energy to continue doing this? Would you rather just go into a child's pose or lay on your back? All of it is okay. And then your exhale, we'll bring the right foot and point it towards the side of the mat, the right side of the mat, and then both arms coming back down into a warrior two, lunging into the left knee, maybe extending the stance out a little bit if that feels good. And then connecting with the breath. Finding that infinite endpoint in the posture, so reaching away from the heart with the fingertips, pressing down into the earth with the feet, lifting up towards the sky with the crown of the head, bringing that left knee towards the left pinky toe, connecting with the breath, feeling it expand the belly. And then on your next inhale, we'll come into our back bend, crescent. Right shoulder is down, away from the right ear. Notice how this feels in the spine. Notice how this feels in the feet and the jaw. And as we exhale, we'll come forward, keeping the belly engaged for support. Left forearm goes on top of the left thigh. Inhale, we'll swim the right arm up over the right ear, pressing down into the floor with the outside of the back foot. Left shoulder stays away from the left ear and away from the center of the body. Connecting with the breath, finding stability in the breath. If this feels like it's too much, hand can go on the hip. You can come up on the palm of your hand on your thigh. You can inhale and open up the chest. And exhale, right palm comes down on the inside of the left leg. Inhale, left arm comes up. And do your rotation. So I'm listening to my body right now, and it's telling me that I need to put my left hand on top of on my hip, because this is just too much of a rotation for me in this moment. And again, if you have a block, you can put your hand on the block here for support. Pressing the back foot down also for support. Connect with the breath, fill up the belly. Exhale, look down. Back foot comes forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And palms come to heart center. Okay, we'll do that again. Back foot goes back, coming into your warrior one. And breathe. Check in with the body. Exhale, warrior two. Back foot points to the side of the mat, extending the stance if you need to. Inhale, coming into crescent, dropping the back arm. Right shoulder away from the center of the body. And exhale, coming back into your side angle. Inhale, bring the shoulder blades together. Exhale, right arm comes down, coming into your rotation. Exhale, look down, back foot comes forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale, root the feet. Okay, so we'll do that one more time. Right foot goes back. Inhale, warrior one. But this time we're going to check in with the body and move where it tells you to go. Maybe you add in another posture even if that feels good. Maybe it's a posture you've never even known before and you're just exploring different movements. Maybe you find one posture that feels really good. You want to hang out there and just connect with the breath. And tap into your creativity in your yoga practice. On your next exhale, we'll come forward, plant both hands onto the mat, back foot steps forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, palms meet at the heart center. Inhale, draw that circle around the body with the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. And then we'll plant the palms. We'll step the feet back into a table position, and from table we'll just bring the legs to the side of the body, sit down into the mat, come onto the mat with straight legs. We're going to work our way into the center of the mat because we're going to lay down. We'll bring the arms out in front of us, engage the core, and gently bring the back onto the floor. You can use your elbows for support. So now that we're on the floor, we're going to do just a gentle back bend. Bend the knees. Root the feet. Root the back of the shoulders into the mat. And on the inhale, we'll press the palms into the mat and lift the hips. Just noticing how this feels. We'll interlace the fingers underneath the back. Walk the shoulder blades together and connect with the breath. If the breath feels solid and steady, maybe we can go up onto the balls of our feet, lifting the pelvis up a little bit higher now. Notice how this feels. Or we can stay rooted into the floor here. Connect with the breath. And on your exhale, remove the hands and slowly lower the hips. And we'll bring the knees to the chest. And we'll do some hip rotations on your back. So you can kind of think of a frog laying on its back swimming in water. We're going to open up the knees with the hands. And then bring the knees further away from the body, and then bring them in and towards the heart, and then away again. So doing circles and with the knees. Noticing if one hip feels different than the other. And we'll go the opposite direction. Connecting with the breath. Good. I'll bring both legs down. And now we'll move into any posture that feels good for you. So kind of check in with the body and see what it wants to do. Maybe it wants to come into a shoulder stand and do a gentle inversion. Bring the elbows together. Maybe you just want to hug your knees to your chest. Maybe you just want to lay in your back in Shavasana. Maybe you go into another back bend. Whatever posture you find yourself in, connect with your breath. And then when you're ready on your next exhale, we'll straighten both legs. Bring the palms down to the side of the body. Coming into our peaceful pause, allowing the body and the mind to absorb the effects of the practice. Anchoring the mind into the body, staying present. Noticing the shape of the body, the outline of the body against your skin. And just noticing how you're feeling. Let's bring the arms up over the body. Take a deep inhale and lengthen the body from the fingertips all the way down to the toes. And exhale out the mouth. We'll bend the knees. Drop into the right side of the body, coming into a fetal position, using our upper arm as a pillow. And just taking our time as we work our way towards a seated position. And when you're ready, you'll press the top hand into the floor. And you'll bring yourself up into a comfortable seated posture, meditation posture. Let's draw a circle around the body with the arms. And exhale, palms come down to the heart. We'll go back to our intention that we set. The light, the love, and divinity in me honors the light and love and divinity in you. Namaste. Thank you all for participating and for coming together in the celebration for International Day of Yoga. It's pretty exciting. And I hope that you were able to get some value out of this practice and try practicing your own hatha yoga practice without needing the guidance of a teacher and just allowing your body to be your own teacher.
The foundation of many branches of yoga, including what we practice here at Song of the Morning Yoga Retreat, is meditation. So my name's Brian, I'm on staff here at Song of the Morning, and I will lead you through a short guided meditation, which really is the foundation, the primary practice of the science of God communion. And all meditations, I think, are universal in essence. We're making contact with the same indivisible spirit, the same universal consciousness. But in practical applications, I think you can say there are as many meditations as there are people in the world. We're each a unique focal point of awareness. And so each of us connects with that awareness and expresses it just a little bit differently. And so because of this, there are many, many, many techniques to help us connect with our true self in silence and stillness through yoga meditation. There are mantras, which are sacred phrases to repeat, essentially gathering all the restless thoughts, coalescing it into one sacred thought, and gathering us to a single point that way. There are visualization techniques. Imagine yourself as a ball of white light or love, or at the bottom of a lake, still quiet lake, and each thought that goes through you is like a bubble that rises to the surface and pops. There are concentration techniques. You could stare at a candle flame, or the main practice taught at Song of the Morning for 50 years now is to concentrate at the spiritual eye, the third eye center between the eyebrows. Or there's formless practicing the presence, silent, seated meditation that doesn't emphasize any of these techniques, and everything in between. So I encourage you to try out anything that just has a slight resonance with you, any curiosity, and see what it opens up, because it opens up into that same vast, infinite space. But I think the important thing, So no matter what meditation technique or no technique, whatever you're doing as you sit, the important thing is to be sincere, to be wholehearted in your efforts. As the great Sufi poet Rumi put it, half-hearted measures do not reach into majesty. So let's wholeheartedly endeavor together to meditate. This will be just one simple way that I will guide you into yourself. As much as you listen to these words now, you can close your eyes, listen to yourself, your own body, your own breath, your own being. So let's start by inhaling deeply and then throw the breath out with a double exhale. It's a sharp exhale followed by a long exhale. It goes something like this. Now with me, do it again. Good, one more. And now as that breath leaves, just feel the relaxation of all the stale energies out, sense of newness and possibility. As we tune out the outer world and attune to that timeless dimension of presence within. Of the many yoga techniques I mentioned, one of the most universal and powerful is to notice the breath. To notice that there is breathing happening. Very naturally and simply, the breath goes in and goes out. This is helpful for a variety of reasons. It connects us with the life force, with the vitality of life. Filling us, and then carbon dioxide carrying away that which doesn't serve. But with all of these meditation techniques, including this one, perhaps its most important function is to take us out of the mind and into the deeper experience of being. So stay with the breath for a moment. Find that balance. Where you're neither reaching out nor pushing away. It's not a tense effort, but it is a fully alert awareness that's being activated. And for most of us, it is the thoughts in the mind that are the greatest obstacle. That most of the day we're thinking about future, remembering the past, problem solving. And the art and the science of meditation is to not get involved. So if a technique helps you, following the breath, perhaps at a specific point you can feel the breath in the belly as it fills deeply and releases. Some people like to focus on the point, the tip of the nose. Feel the cool air breathing in there and warmer as it releases. Just fully arrive in this present moment. Not in the mind exclusively, but in the totality of being. Which includes the body. The inner vitality of the body. Where you can feel that sense of aliveness, that sense of presence. And if anywhere in there you feel a tension or a tightness, an anxiety, just invite it to relax, release, to let go. The reason we meditate, or one of them, because again, each person might have their own reasons, but instead of turning our attention outward, we're gathering it within. Instead of moving, often restlessly, scattered, but any movement whatsoever, we are, for these few minutes of meditation, making a commitment to stillness. Even the stillness underlying the breath. The breath comes and the breath goes. Balancing between these poles of attraction and aversion. Can you feel that space where the breath comes from and to where it returns? Just relax, relax, completely relax. And if any thoughts come, if any feelings or sensations arise, the inner presence is there to guide you within. The breath is there to guide you within. Just relax and allow any movements to come and go. And stay with the presence of your true self. And as we sit together in silence for a few minutes more, totally aware and totally relaxed. If you are wholehearted, you can discover the truth of Yogananda's words, that in my silence, God's silence ceases. Thank you for being a part of our commemoration and celebration of International Day of Yoga here at Song of the Morning Yoga Retreat. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace to all of you.
everyone, my name is Justine, and I'll be leading a chant from Yogananda called Door of My Heart. Door of my And now we'll close together with a prayer from Yogananda. O Spirit, my voice was made to sing thy glory. My heart was made to respond to thy call alone. My soul was made to be a channel through which thy love might flow uninterruptedly into all thirsty souls. Divine Mother, open wide the bud of my devotion and release its fragrance, that it may spread from my soul to the souls of all others, ever whispering of thee.